On behalf of the President, faculty, and staff of Patrick Henry Community College, the Alliance for Excellence welcomes you to our 20th Annual Academic Excellence Awards program. The purpose of this program is to recognize African American and other minority students from area high schools and Patrick Henry Community College who have a 3.6 or higher grade point average, and the Patrick Henry Community College students should have 28 semester credits in addition to their 3.6 average. These students who are being recognized have made outstanding contributions to Patrick Henry Community College, to their high schools, and to their communities. The Alliance for Excellence strives to provide educational, cultural, and personal experiences for these students through a variety of programs and activities, and reward those that excel. We are so honored to have you here today as our guest, and we thank you for your support of the Alliance for Excellence and for coming out on this stormy, rainy afternoon to support these students on this momentous occasion. Please feel free to call on Patrick Henry Community College anytime that you need us. We have some catalogs out there on the tables with application forms in them. And if you are interested in attending Patrick Henry Community College, please take one of those. This is also for our older population because there's something out here for you too. Thank you.
No matter what we go through or where we find ourselves, we must realize that Jesus is our rock, and he is that rock in everything. Oh, Ezekiel said he saw it as a wheel in the middle of a wheel. John talked about it in the book of the seven seals. Some call him the Rose of Sharon, others call him the Prince of Peace. But I call Jesus my rock. Oh, Ezekiel said he saw him as a wheel in the middle of a wheel. John talked about it in the book of the seven seals. Some call it the Rose of Sharon, others call it the Prince of Peace. But I call Jesus my rock. I call him Jesus. I call him Jesus. I call him Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Oh, I know he won't deny me. Always walks beside me. I call Jesus my rock. I call him Jesus. 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 Sweet Jesus. Oh, I know he won't deny me. Always walks beside me. I call Jesus my rock. I call him Jesus. Jesus. Lily of the valley, Jesus. Bright and morning star. I call him Jesus. I call him Jesus. On Christ, solid rock I stand. All of the ground, nothing but sinking sand. Rock of ages, won't you clap in me? Oh, let me hide myself in thee. All of the waters come from the blood, flow from his side. Up above, I call him Jesus. I call him Jesus. What do you call my Savior? 'Cause I call him Jesus. Woke me up this morning, he started me on my way. Nobody but Jesus. Nobody but Jesus. Oh,
Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing on a rainy Sunday afternoon? We just want to honor the Lord on today. Honor Mr. Wilson, Mr. Drew, the whole panel here, all the honorees, the family, the ones that have come out to support them. Truly, this is a day to be reckoned of the great awards of the different ones. A little bit of feedback. All right. As I begin to think about, as Mrs. Wilson asked me to speak to the recipients this evening, I came up with a theme, Dare to be Different. We're living in a time now that people are wanting you to conform to some type of unit of measurement. But as I began to study my life and others around me, there seemed to be great blessing in paving your own road. And as I think about it as an educator, and as I deal with the different sectors of students, I found out that there's no one best way. Some people learn by visual. They need to see something. So we need to work with that side of it. Some people do better when they hear you speak things. Others are kinesthetic. They like to work with their hands. So as you go on your academic journey, I want you to try to find out the best way that you learn, that you perceive, and then maximize that to the best of your ability. Don't be caught into a mold. Dare to be different. As I began to study a little bit about the different learning styles, and I found out that sometimes we get in a rut. And the only way to get out of that rut is to go outside of your comfort zone. And as I began to think about the group that I was addressing today, I know that there is a various age group there. Many people have had a lot of life experiences. Some have had few life experiences. But I'd like to leave you these words of encouragement today. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. If you never start, you'll never finish. So in your academic endeavors and even in life, take that first step that you might accomplish the goal that you are pursuing in life. Recipients, today you have achieved a great plateau in life. But I want you to realize that this is not an end, but a beginning. As you begin to encounter obstacles and situations and circumstances in your life, think back on this Sunday afternoon at P&HCCedu Community College. And think about me. And remember that it takes one step. We must do one step at a time. Positive thinking. There is a quote on positive thinking. It said, if you think you're beaten, you are. If you dare not, you won't. If you think you're losing, you've already lost. Success begins with one step. Self-motivation is one of the key components that's missing in a lot of societies today, in a lot of areas in society today. We must realize that if we can think it and we can visualize it and we can be persistent in what we want, we can accomplish it. When you think about others that have trodden out paths in life, think about the ones that have made great accomplishments. I know many of you are sports fans, no doubt. If you go back and search some of those great sports figures, you will find out that they had endless hours of practice. No matter what sport they was in, it took endless hours of practice. Well, in life, it's going to take some effort in order for us to reach the destination that we want to be. The battle is not always given to the strong, and the race is not always given to the fastest, but it's the person that endures unto the end. I know many of you have heard the story about the turtle, or the terrapin and the rabbit. Rabbit was real fast. Terrapin or the turtle was real slow. But the rabbit got overconfident and he lost the race. As you think about your endeavors today, we want you to think about taking one step at a time. There's two portions of scripture that I'd like to reference this evening in my talk with you. And that is Galatians 6:7, where it said, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Amen. Dare to be different. Don't go by everybody else's mold. Find what works best for you and perfect that. The second quote is from Philippians 4:8. And it said, "Finally, my brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things." In other words, positive thinking will take you a long way in life. If you can visualize that you can do it, it's a high percentage that you will do it. As we began to look at these different learning styles, I brought a couple examples with me that I'd like to share with you on today. A pattern has 4 blue triangles to every 12 yellow triangles. What is the ratio of triangles, of the blue triangles to the yellow? That would be 1 to 4, right? Now, the ones that are mathematically inclined, they would get that right away. Someone who is an audio person, they might say, what is he talking about? So we need someone that is audio. We would need to give them something that's visual, something that they can see so that they can comprehend the same concept. So as you think about your learning habits, the things that you're trying to accomplish in life, find the best thing that works for you and perfect that. And as we think about this on today, daring to be different. We were all born uniquely. We have unique talents. We don't all have the same talents. So why should we try to put everyone in the same mold? We shouldn't. Unfortunately, that's what happens a lot of time in our educational environments and life situation. But I'm here to encourage you today, be different. Be different. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? One step. Take small steps to your success. A lot of times the reason that we don't succeed in what we're doing is that we're trying to do too much too quickly. But if we would slow it down and take one step at a time and continuously take it, eventually we will get to our goal. As you endure your different situations and obstacles in life, keep a positive mindset. I can do it. I can do it. I know I can do it. Yes, there will be disappointment, there will be frustration, there will be uncertainty, sometimes even fear, but realize one step is all it takes to get started, and keep taking those one steps until you reach your destination. A life of success is achieved by positive thinking. Many times, and even in my academic endeavors, they told me I was not college material. You need to learn a trade. So I listened to them, and I took up auto mechanics. And I did good at that on my own. I never went into it as a business. But as I began to work in the circular world, and as things began to happen, and I lost my job, and I had to go back to school, and I realized that, the mold that they was trying to put me in was not the mold that God had designed for me. He had something better for me. Now, I encourage you today, don't stop with what people tell you to do. Find what works best for you and work it to perfection. I stand before you today as one that had a bad speech impediment. When I was in grade school, they held me back because the other students around me could speak clearly and all of this, but I had the speech impediment, and they held me back because of that. But I didn't let it stop me. I went on and I finished my high school diploma. I was still dealing with this speech impediment. But one day I found out about a man called Jesus. And I put my trust in him. And you know what? Unless you knew me when I was little, you wouldn't even realize that I had a speech impediment. When I was a little boy, in order to get out water, I had to go and beat on something to get out water. But I didn't give up. Realize that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Today, don't let this be an end. Let it be a beginning. You have accomplished a great thing on today, but there are bigger and better things in line for all of you today. I just want to encourage you. Dare to be different. Be what God made you to be. And that is a unique individual. May God bless you. Heaven smile upon you is my prayer.
Mr. Tatum, we really thoroughly enjoyed you. Mr. Tatum, Reverend Tatum, he taught me when I came back to school. Anything about the computer, he taught me. I'm here to pass out the memorial awards. The first award is the Reverend Dr. Rudolph T. Anderson Humanitarian Award. This is Reverend Dr. Anderson. We have a long bio from each one of them, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about each one. I'm not going to read all this stuff. I'm going to just tell you a little bit of it. Reverend Anderson was the man that, for a lot of us older people, we got ready to get married. He was the one that joined a lot of us together. And Reverend Anderson was born in Farmville, Virginia, in February 13, 1902. He worked in the Martinsville City school system, served as a teacher and principal of the East Martinsville Elementary School. He retired in 1969 after 40 years of service. He was chaplain over at the Martinsville Hospital, member of many organizations, boards, and commissions. For that, to honor outstanding service to the church and the community, we are asking Lysandra Hairston to come forward. Our next recipient is the Dr. Dana O. Baldwin Award. Dr. Dana Olden Baldwin was the first black physician to practice medicine in Henry County and Martinsville. He was born in Chatham County, North Carolina. And he was like I said, he was the first physician in Martinsville to volunteer for service in World War I. He took his basics at Fort Des Moines, Iowa, and was commissioned a first lieutenant in 1917. 1929, he was in the block. We know uptown Martinsville is the block. And the block burned down, but Dr. Baldwin rebuilt a much larger structure to replace the offices that were on the block. Dr. Baldwin helped relieve the unemployment situation in Martinsville, Henry County during the latter years of the Great Depression in the early 30s. He and other black leaders were influenced from Baltimore, Maryland, to open a jobless plant factory just off Fayette Street, giving employment to more than 100 black women. His nickname was Doc. To honor outstanding service to the church and the community college, we have Sierra Dalt. The Emma Dean Norris Commander Leadership Award is to honor outstanding female student leader. Miss Emma Dean Norris Commander was the daughter of the late Arthur A. Norris and Aldine Thompson Norris. She was educated in the public schools of Louisville, Kentucky, at Fisk University, and at Columbia University. She began her teaching career in South Carolina. She was married to the late Dr. J.C. Commander. After her marriage, she moved to Martinsville and began teaching in Henry County, where she was employed first at Carver High School and then at Leatherwood School. Mrs. Commander was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, Roanoke chapter of Girlfriends in Cooperation. Mrs. Commander was an outstanding leader, and that is why we have chosen to name the Emma Dean Norris Commander Leadership Award in her honor. The recipient is Chelsea Hatcher. I don't think she's here, so. The next award, and when I was coming to school here a whole lot of years ago, I was the recipient of this one, so I am partial to it. This is the Bishop Harry Clay Eggleston Award. Bishop Harry Clay Eggleston, son of Sam Eggleston and Nanny Kate Carter Eggleston, was born on April 29, 1912 in Henry County. He was founder and pastor of the Shiloh Way of the Cross Church and was bishop of the International Way of the Cross Church. He became bishop of the church in 1981. He also served as second vice bishop of the organization, which has churches in 12 states and the District of Columbia and 11 churches in Africa. Bishop Eggleston attended Martinsville Public School. He began his ministry in 1943 in a small store on the Old Danville Road. Later, the congregation moved to a small farmhouse. In 1945, the church moved again. Bishop Eggleston studied at the Theological Seminary in Lynchburg and received a doctoral degree in divinity at Alamo Bible Institute in Alamo, Tennessee. He worked in the civil rights movement of the early 60s and with Martinsville Henry County voter registration. He served on the board of the United Fund, the Mental Health Association, the Ministerial Alliance Committee, and the Mayor's Committee. He was a vice chairman of the Community Hospital Board and was on the board of trustees of Memorial Hospital of Martinsville and Henry County. We have chosen to honor his memory, Xavier Johnson, to honor outstanding service to the church and the community. He's not here. Okay. The next recipient is the Charles Reginald Vanderbilt Hairston Community Visionary Award. Charles Reginald Vanderbilt Hairston, son of William Henry Hairston and Mary Susan Hobson Hairston, was born March 18, 1923. This is the Hairston Funeral Home. Person that started the Hairston Funeral Home, and we called him Reg. He's a member of the National Hairston Clan and coordinated reunions of the Clan here. He was a member of the Grace United Presbyterian Church and served for more than 20 years on the board of the United Fund. He was a director of the Martinsville Henry County Chamber of Commerce, and in the 1950s served on the Mayor's Commission on Human Values. He was a member of the Sons of Solomon Masonic Lodge number 111. He was also a member of King Solomon Conservatory number 64 and a member of the Kuwach Shriners Temple. For this award, we have chosen Scholar Jackson. This is to honor a student who exemplifies futuristic thinking. Next was Mr. John Bruce Harris, Sr. Mr. John Bruce Harris, Sr. was the son of the late Peter S. Harris and the late Carrie Hill Harris. He was born January 6, 1908 in Ridgeway, Virginia. He was married to Virginia Vi Harris, to whom two sons were born, John B. Harris and Peter C. Harris, and one daughter, Virginia H. Price. Mr. Harris attended the Piedmont Christian Institute, which was only secondary school for black people in Henry County and Martinsville area. He dropped out of school before he graduated. But Mr. Harris went back to school and he managed to attend enough night courses to qualify for a high school diploma. He began teaching school before he finished college. He graduated from Virginia State College in Petersburg in 1950, and he obtained a master's degree from the University of Virginia in Charlottesville in 1964. Mr. Harris taught at Flat Rock Elementary School, Carver Lane Elementary School, and the Graves Knob Elementary School. He served as principal of Irisburg Elementary School, which was the first consolidated black school in Henry County. Mr. Harris was the first principal of the new Murray Hunter Elementary School in Bassett, Virginia, and I was one of the first people. I was in the second grade when that school was open, and Mr. Harris was the principal. In 1969, when schools were integrated, Mr. Harris was appointed to serve as co-principal at Campbell Court Elementary School in Bassett. Mr. Harris was a member of Oak Hill Missionary Baptist Church, Smith River Baptist District Union Correspondent Secretary and Auditor of Smith River Sunday School Convention. Mr. Harris was an outstanding educator, civic leader, and historian. This is why we have chosen to honor him today, to honor exceptional dedication to civic responsibility. Gertrude Johnson.
I'm pretty loud, so I really don't need this at all. I might be able to accomplish this without this microphone. Continuing on with our awards, the next award is the Dr. Hezekiah Morris Award to honor an outstanding adult male student who has made the decision to return to college. Dr. Hezekiah Morris was born March 24, 1894 in Bedford County, Virginia. Dr. Morris received his elementary education in public schools at Bedford County. He attended high school and college at Virginia Seminary and College of Lynchburg, Virginia. He did additional study at A&T College and State University in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Virginia State in Petersburg, Virginia. He received his honorary doctorate of divinity degree from Virginia Seminary and College. Dr. Morris worked as a teacher in Henry County school systems from 1923 to 1932 and was pastor at High Street Baptist Church and Star Bethlehem Baptist Church. Dr. Morris served as a member of several boards, including the local advisory committee to the School of Religious Education for the University of Richmond and the board of directors of Virginia Seminary and College. In honor of Dr. Morris's commitment to education, this is the reason we have chosen to honor his remembrance by awarding Kelvin Valentine with the Dr. Hezekiah Morris Award. Sammy Red Award to honor an outstanding male student leader. Mr. Sammy Red was born in Henry County, August 23, 1945. He attended Albert Harris High School and later received a bachelor's degree in business administration from Virginia State University. He was self-employed as a real estate broker and a tax consultant and was in the retail merchandising business. Mr. Red was a former member of the Henry County Board of Supervisors, which he served as chairman, and a faithful member of Fayette Street Christian Church. Mr. Red was a member of the American Legion Panel Post Number 42, National Association of Tax Consultants. He also served on other civic activities too numerous to name and was named Citizen of the Year by the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. In honor of Mr. Sammy Red's civic commitment, this is the reason why we have chosen to honor his remembrance by awarding Jean Alfred with the Sammy Red Award. The Samuel S. Trott Award to honor an outstanding student in academic endeavors. Mr. Samuel S. Trott was born in McDaniel, Maryland, September the 1st, 1917. He attended public schools in Maryland. In 1939, he received a Bachelor's of Science degree from Prince Anne College, now the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. And he received his master's degree in School of Administration from the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. Upon graduation, Mr. Trott moved to Martinsville and taught in the Henry County Training School for more than 49 years. At George Washington Carver High School, he was a football, basketball, and track coach. Before retiring in 1987, Mr. Trott also served as an assistant principal and guidance counselor at Drew and Mason High School. He was an affiliate with many community organizations
and was a faithful member of Mountain Zion AME Church. Because of his dedication to the field of education, an endowment fund was established in his honor at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore in 1986. In honor of Mr. Trout's commitment to the education and his experience and his service to the community, we have chosen to honor his remembrance by awarding Kelvin Gravely Jr. with the Samuel S. Award. Samuel S. Trot Award, excuse me. Reverend Mother Rachel Waller, to honor an outstanding adult female who has made the decision to return to college. Miss Waller was born May 7, 1916 in Halifax County, Virginia. She was the pastor of New Light True Vine P&HCCedu Church of God Incorporated in Bassett, Virginia for 32 years. She was also one of the founders of Mount Nebo Holiness Church in Patrick Springs, Virginia. Miss Waller was an active member and leader of the National True Vine P&HCCedu Church since its inception in 1946 under the leadership of the late Bishop W.M. Johnson. Under her religious leadership, the Missionary and Women's Work Department and other national programs have grown monumentally. Reverend Mother Rachel Waller exemplified unselfish love for her church family, exhibited great patience, and was willing to suffer for those she loved. She was known for her unselfish service and community and commitment to help others in a time of need, the sick, the bereaved, the hungry, and the spiritually weak. She encouraged and consoled those with problems by fulfilling God's commandment, "Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." And because of her unselfish spirit, we have chosen to honor her remembrance by awarding Wanda Deering with the Reverend Mother Rachel Award. Dr. Harry A. Williams, to award the most academically talented male graduate. Dr. Harry A. Williams was born September the 18th, 1901 in Danville, Virginia. Dr. Williams received his preliminary education in the Danville public school system. He earned a Doctor of Medicine degree from Howard University in 1927. In 1929, Dr. Williams entered into private practice in Martinsville, Virginia. Dr. Williams was an active participant in several community organizations, such as the Imperial Savings and Loan Association. He was a dedicated citizen advocating for equal teacher salaries and retail discrimination against the black citizens. Dr. Williams was committed to civil services and community service of the schools. Because Dr. Williams was a scholar and a gentleman, we have chosen to honor in his remembrance by awarding Clifton Woody Jr. with the Dr. Harry A. Williams Award. Mrs. Bessie C. Woodward, to honor the most outstanding academically talented graduate. Mrs. Bessie C. Woodward was born August 2, 1885, to the late William C. Watterson and Lucy Cloud Watterson. She was married to the late Dr. Edward O. Woodward. She attended school and college in Rogersville, Tennessee, Virginia State University, and Winston-Salem State University. She taught school in Rogersville, Tennessee, Martinsville Training School, and Albert Harris Elementary School. She also taught kindergarten at St. Paul's Episcopal Church, and in her honor, she was faithful member of Grace United Presbyterian Church and served as an elder, circle leader in the Women's Association, Sunday school teacher, and president of the Youth Adult Club. She was a member of the Retired Teachers, the Albert Harris PTA, life member of the NAACP, and helping newcomers to Martinsville. Mrs. Woodward was committed to the community and willing to help others, and that's why we have chosen, in honor of remembrance, Sarah Rivers with the Bessie C. Woodward Award. Oh. Is anyone here to take Sarah Rivers' award in her place? Okay. For anyone, if you want to tell anyone who wasn't here to receive their award, they're more than welcome to come by Patrick Henry Community College's Walker Building where Miss Wilson works, and they can receive their award.
Good afternoon. The academic awards will go to the following people. I'm sorry, I thought I had a loud enough voice. The academic awards will go to the following people. Patrick Henry Community College. Donna Craghead, Fieldale, Virginia. Will you please come forward as I call your name? Sharon Dotson, Martinsville, Virginia. Shaquetta Gravely, Martinsville, Virginia. Jocelyn Hall, Cascade, Virginia. Renita Mahan, Collinsville, Virginia. Amber Russ, Axton, Virginia. Is it anyone here to receive an award for her? Bassett High School. Tammy Browell, Stanleytown, Virginia. Keena Gravely, Collinsville, Virginia. Desiree Hairston, Collinsville, Virginia. Anisha Napper, Martinsville, Virginia. Elizabeth O'Compton, Collinsville, Virginia. Joshua Pearson, Collinsville, Virginia. Kenny Taylor, Fieldale, Virginia. Autumn Wright, Fieldale, Virginia. Magna Vista High School, Ocean Adams, Martinsville, Virginia. Perlena Constant Devora from Axton, Virginia. Mariah Divins, Martinsville, Virginia. KJ Dillard, Martinsville, Virginia. Jasmine, I think this is Garia, Ridgeway, Virginia. Noah Hairston, Martinsville, Virginia. Crystal Cavalier, Axton, Virginia. Alexandra Martin from Martinsville, Virginia. Oh, Alexius Martin. I'm sorry, Martinsville, Virginia. DJ McCain. Deja McCain, Martinsville, Virginia. Christina Neal, Stoneville, North Carolina. I think somebody's going to pick his. Christiana Price, Martinsville, Virginia. Christiana Price, Martinsville, Virginia. Cassandra Pritchett, Ridgeway, Virginia. Brian Scales, Martinsville, Virginia. And Savannah Vaughn, Ridgeway, Virginia.
We will now present the awards to students from Martinsville High School. Victoria Akers. Andres Barberina. Simeon Dillard. Alexa Uri. Esmeralda Garcia. Joshua Gravely. Wisdom Harris. Jasmine Morrison. Gavinci Owen. Elizabeth Pilson. Kadasha Porter. Deshan Williams. Now from Patrick County High School, Erica Hughes. Corey Tarpley.
At this time, is this on? At this time, I want to thank everyone who helped the Alliance for Excellence with this awards program. It's about 3 months' worth of work. And I want to thank the advisory committee, the staff at Patrick Henry Community College, and volunteers. And I would like for all of my, I say mine because I'm the coordinator, advisory committee members to stand. One person did not show up today. She had a last-minute call. That was Marguerite Witcher. And we lost one in January. That's a tribute to Barbara Ingram in the program, and she was on this committee for 23 years. Carolyn Drew has been here for 24 years. Everybody else has served this past year, has been their first year. And there are people here that I'm always asking to do something, like Frank Tatum over here. And I would like for all the parents, I'm doing this because I'm used to teaching school and never used the mic. Parents, guardians, spouses, please stand. You deserve an award, and I wish we could give you one, because you're the ones that had to get them out of the house every day, tolerate them coming in late at night, getting on them about doing projects, and everything else it takes in being a parent or a spouse.
Good evening, everyone. Surely we honor the King who is Jesus, who is first in our life, and who should be first in yours, because it is Him who has enabled you to have such an academic accomplishment, whereof we are glad for you, and we know that it is so good to serve the Lord. Oh, I came just to give God the glory, all the glory, all the glory. Oh, I came just to give God the glory. He has been so good to me. Oh, I came just to give God the glory, all the glory, all the glory. Oh, I came just to give God the glory. He has been so good to me. Oh, so good, so good, oh, so good. Oh, He has been so good, so good. He has been so good to me. Oh, I came just to say thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I came just to say thank you, Jesus. He has been so good to me. Oh, so good, so good, oh, so good. Oh, He has been so good, so good. He has been so good to me. Oh, I love Jesus. He's my Savior. When storms are raging, oh, He's my shelter. Oh, when He leads me, I will follow. I love Jesus. He loves me. I love the Lord. Oh, and I won't take. I love the Lord. Oh, and I won't take. Do you love the Lord? Oh, and I won't take. And He has been so good to me. Oh, so